Happy day 841 of What's Shipped to Now, darlings. I had to use this filter today because it just cracks me up. Number one, it reminds me how horrible my eyebrows are, right? During COVID-19, my eyebrows have definitely been unattended to, and so is a whole lot of things. And I call this one today personal pivot. I guess I'm embracing the word pivot. To me, when I hear pivot, it's just change, right? But it seems to be the word of 2020 as we've gone into the pandemic, maybe because it's pandemic and P, so people like the word pivot. Oh, we're in a pandemic, we need to pivot. We're not going to change, we're not going to do anything differently, we're just going to pivot, because pivoting sounds better than having to actually change what we do or who we are or how we behave or how we act or what things are important to us. You know, pandemic, I think we're going to have a pandemic priority pivot, right? I'm going to pivot my priorities based on the pandemic and things that I should have done all along, but that now I have an excuse and a reason, and I really have gotten permission from the world to pivot and change and actually focus on my own personal priorities. Now, this one, I'm just thinking of personal pivots and personal change because, I don't know, I woke up this morning and I actually wanted to just keep my curlers in when I did my videos today, and I thought, nah, I haven't done that for a long time, I'm not going to do it. I'll take my curlers out. But actually, these curlers look better than my hair does today, so there you have it. No, I just have been thinking that this lockdown for most people has given me a chance and given me time to reevaluate what's important to me, what is really my priority, and what doesn't serve me anymore. And there's, you know, even in my life where I try to be on top of that, there have been a lot of things that things that don't serve me anymore. There have been people that are not good for me that I've let continue to be a part of my life and a dominating part of my life. There are, and you know, I know better, I've known better for decades, yet they still sneak in. Not nearly as much as I used to, but once in a while there's still somebody that's just, you know, makes me feel off. And I'm like, I'm old enough, I don't have to deal with those people anymore. They can just slip out of my life quietly, some not so quietly, but quietly would be better. And I can move on and move forward, and they can move on with their life and go find somebody else to irritate or annoy. I found there's habits that, you know, I have just let slide, and I'm holding myself accountable to say, no, that's not good enough for me to not do what I know is good for me. It's not, you know, and I don't have any real excuses or reasons for it. It's just kind of creeped up on me. I was sick over the holidays. Heck, I probably had COVID-19, who knows. But over Christmas, I was like really sick, and it sounds like the symptoms of COVID-19. Went to the doctor, and they didn't even test me for the flu because they're like, you don't have a fever, you don't have this. I'm like, okay, well, that's probably because I was dying a week ago, and now I've, you know, weathered the worst part of the storm, and I'm feeling better. And I did get better. So maybe someday when they have a test, I'll get, you know, readily available. I'll get tested, and I'll find out I have the antibodies. Wouldn't that be awesome? That would take a lot of the nonsense and the social distancing and fear and things out of our lives, right? So personal pivots and personal priorities, I'm looking at that. I'm also looking at it as part of an accountability group that I'm working with going forward. Not my own, actually, a group I'm a member of, because I found that, you know, part of personal development and personal pivoting or personal change or personal growth involves having other people outside of us help us see ourselves better. They're not really going to coach us and teach us to do anything that we don't already know inside of us. You know, I'm a coach, and I still know that you already know inside of you what you need to do, but sometimes you just need someone outside of you to say, hey, ask you questions so that you realize and have the aha moments that, oh my God, I really do know what to do. I do know what to do next. I do know what I want. You know, I think we spend so much of our time telling ourselves we don't know what to do, we don't know what we want, we don't know how to do stuff, that we forget how capable we really are of accomplishing anything that we set our mind to. I'm so grateful to my dad for teaching me that there's no such thing as can't. I mean, I won't do it, I don't want to do it, I don't want to put in the work or the effort to create the result that I say that I want, but there's really no such thing as can't. Now, before somebody starts telling me, well, you can't be 6 feet tall, Sharon, because you're only 5'1.5". You can't be you know, a brain surgeon. Well, you know what? I probably could be a brain surgeon if I so desired, but I don't want to be a brain surgeon. I don't like brains and guts and gore and blood and things that much that I would want to go after that. But if I did, then I would have the ability, no matter how old I am, to go and learn how to do that. I have actually no interest in being a doctor or a brain surgeon, but especially now. So personal pivots. We've been talking a lot about what do we do from a business standpoint? What are we doing with our businesses? What do we do to take care of our family and those we love and care about? But have we really, women especially, taken the opportunity to discover and explore and ask ourselves, what am I supposed to be doing? Me personally, right now, what am I supposed to be doing during this time period, and to make sure that I am reevaluating my priorities. I am making sure that what I say is really important to me is really important to me. You know, I teach a lot about the 7 main areas of your life, and I'm pretty sure I learned this from Tony Robbins a gazillion years ago, and not a gazillion, but probably like 35 or 40. You know, there's 7 main areas of our life: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, and contribution. And we can ignore some of those areas of our life some of the time, but if we ignore them all of the time, we are in for big trouble. I ignored my health for like 2 decades. I had health challenges in my 20s, and I did a really good job of putting habits and systems and things in place to take care of my health. And then as life got busy and I was raising my family and I was married and had, you know, a bunch of businesses plus working in corporate America on the side, those things, the way I took care of myself and made sure that I put my health and well-being first, they just went by the wayside. And after about 2 decades of putting my physical well-being last, I got a wake-up call to say, hey, you need to pay attention to your physical well-being. We've been sending you messages, you've been having these health challenges along the way, and they've been getting stronger and stronger, but you have been ignoring them. It's time to pay attention and give some importance and some emphasis and put some priority on your physical health and well-being. So are you paying attention to each of these areas of your life? Are you prioritizing them? What is the most important to you right now? I'm going to tell you right now, we can ignore our health all we want, but if we don't have at least some priority on it, it will give us a huge wake-up call. If we don't pay attention to what we're thinking and what we're feeling, our emotional and our mental well-being, that'll give us a wake-up call too. I always wondered why the first question every doctor I've ever seen asks is about depression. I'm like, hey, I'm not depressed. I haven't been depressed ever in my life. Why is that the first question? Well, because so many people are depressed and having emotional struggles and mindset struggles that has become the first question they ask. Now, my daughter and I were having a discussion, and maybe that's a lot to cover their butts, but regardless, why are so many people suffering from and being medicated for things like depression? You know, is it because our world has given us so many more things to be depressed about? Or is it because of the things that we have been experiencing? Or is it because of all the other stuff in the world that's going on that we're taking in as our own when it's really not ours to take in, if that makes any sense? You know, doubt, fear, worry, and there's things that contribute to that. If we watch the media a lot, if we watch other people's problems, they start to become our own. They start to influence us. So it's important that, especially now, all the time, but especially now, in times of change and challenge and unrest, that we look at our personal priorities and we decide, well, what things are most important to me? And we weigh those and then behave accordingly and decide, well, what do I want to have be my physical well-being and my physical health? What do I want my state to be? You know, what is it now, and then what do I want it to be? What do I want my finances to be? What are they now? What do I want them to be? It doesn't matter what they were 6 weeks ago or 8 weeks ago or, you know, a year ago or 10 years ago. It's what are they right now? What's my current situation right now? And what do I want it to be? And as soon as we decide what we want it to be, we start moving toward that, right? So it doesn't even matter what it is right now. It could be negative $100,000 and it doesn't matter right now. It matters, where are we going to take to? Oh, I see there's letters above my head. That's funny. I didn't even know those were there. I suppose they show up for you guys all the time. I don't even know what that means. Okay, that's funny. So now I've got curlers. I look like an idiot with weird eyebrows and makeup. I always have funky eyes, wonky eyes, you know. If you haven't noticed that I have wonky eyes, I always have wonky eyes. So pay attention to your personal priorities, pivot where you need to pivot, stay the same where you need to stay the same, but know that if you're not continually improving in every area of your life, you're probably descending or probably going backwards. That's just the way life is. We're either progressing toward what we want or we're sliding backwards. There's not really any staying the same, right? Get Up and Go Challenge, going to do the Q&A today. I did not do it Saturday. I selfishly went and got my nails repaired and fixed because my nails were definitely a casualty of COVID-19. But since one of the salons in town was open, I walked in and I actually got in when I was going for a walk. And so instead of doing my Q&A on Saturday, I did that for the Get Up and Go Challenge. And instead of doing one yesterday, I'm going to do that on Tuesday. So we're just going to stretch it out till Monday and Tuesday. Now, I did already schedule the next Get Up and Go Challenge for the 25th of May. 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th will be the core trainings for that. And then we'll go some bonus days, probably over the weekend, because it's easier normally for me to do videos, live videos over the weekend when I don't have my amazing granddaughter with me. But it's not all about being easy for me. It's about being what works for people. And I'm kind of testing that out and doing a little trial and error to see what works to get people live, what doesn't. When is it easier for them to be available? Because it's not about me. I already know this stuff, but it's how can I serve and help people, and what's the best time frame for that. Fun challenge day, 365-day fun challenge day 132 today was all about things we say yes to and things we say no to. Now, yes today, and then of course no tomorrow. And the contention is that half the problems in the world are caused by us saying yes too quickly but not saying no fast enough. So I think about things that I say yes to quickly, and I'm really gotten good as I've gotten older about thinking about my priorities and, protecting my time and not saying yes to everything. I used to say yes to everything when I was younger, which is probably part of what contributed to my health challenges. I mean, we all have 24 hours in a day, but we all only have 24 hours in a day. And I used to try to get, 72 hours worth of activities done in 24 hours. And that's just not possible, at least not over the long term. Pulled it off for 20 some years, but then got that massive sudden cardiac arrest wake-up call saying, yeah, guess what? You're not Wonder Woman or Superman. You need to actually, sleep once in a while and eat right and maybe move your body and get some exercise that isn't running around like a chicken with your head cut off. So, Get Up and Go Challenge is in full swing and will continue to be in full swing. Fun challenge. Documenting my journey, that's what this is. And I think we're at day 8, what did I say, 841 today. Wow, 841 days. And do I know the reasons why I'm at 841 days and still haven't duplicated my offline success online? Yes. So that's where the personal pivot comes in. I, like everybody else, know what I need to have been doing and what I'm doing wrong and how to fix it. So instead of just thinking about it, I am going to demonstrate it over the next few weeks and months of how to fix it. And it's primarily massive simplification and focus of what I'm doing. It's what I coach people on all the time, yet I'm not doing it. I've got way too many things in the fire still, way too many things going. And because my attention is diverted and it's not focused and laser focused, the results are slow to come. And I got away with this in the offline world because I had a lot of help and a lot of teams that did all the different pieces. I would start a business, I would get it all up, running, systematized, and we'd have the direction and the vision for it, and then I could let it go. I could hire someone else to run it. And so I could run 6 or 7 businesses at a time because I was doing that. And for some reason, my brain melted, and when I went online, I believed I had to do everything myself. I don't know why, but for the longest time, I thought, I have to do everything myself. I have to figure out everything myself. And it turns out I'm not alone. A lot of people do the same silly thing. We decide we're going to start a side gig and do things online. And then we think we have to figure everything out ourselves. And so we spend years spinning our wheels, running in circles, and focusing on the wrong things, not the things that are going to get us the result that we want, but the things that we stay busy at. And staying busy is not the same as getting the results that we want. So I'm flip-flopping and pivoting to results focused, not activity and stuff and learning focused. And the rub for me is I love learning, so I have loved every bit of the journey, but I'm like, I don't want to just learn. I want to set the example for other people. I've been working with a couple of groups, and I want to really show them, yep, you can just start where you are and create what you want really, really quickly if you follow the path, not get diverted and off track and do things that aren't necessary, right? So there's that. Granddaughter will be here soon, so I'm going to take out my curlers and start my day. I'm wishing you an absolutely amazing day. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. Don't be like Sharon, ask for help. And that should be my saying. Don't be like Sharon, ask for help. Could probably write a book about that. I'm sure my family could write a book about that. Ask for help and know that help is always available to those that ask. All right, have an amazing day, and I will, of course, do tomorrow. Bye. Without my curlers and my crazy makeup. Bye.